Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 61 of RollPlay Court of Swords on a special Saturday episode because we missed last Saturday because I was in St. Louis. We'll still have an episode this upcoming Tuesday as long as there's no conflicts, but we should be good to go. And then next Saturday, we'll have our 8-hour live show.
That's the new schedule for Court of Swords. We do Saturday, Tuesday, and every other episode is an 8-hour episode until we just wish we were dead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I just can't have you guys. I can't fly everyone out every other week. Gotta get a little pricey, but yeah, I'm all right with doing 8 hours a week or 12 hours a week. That'd be great. Yeah, next Saturday at 1:00 Eastern, we'll have our special 8-hour live episode, live episode as we call it, where the entire cast and crew will be flown in about 30 feet that way in my living room. We'll be putting on a show, so come watch that. But anyways, let's find out what everyone's been up to. Let's start with the man who has destroyed my chat.
No, start with somebody else.
Start with someone else? You don't want to be first?
Because I actually, the reason why I wasn't like in my seat exactly right when that counter went down is because I was making coffee. I'm just going to grab my coffee real quick.
Okay, go get your coffee. All right, go get your coffee.
So unprofessional.
So unprofessional, this guy, Max. How you been, Max? I saw you were at
I've been professional.
Were you at a basketball game last night? Were you there as well?
Yeah, I went to a Chicago Bulls game. They were against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Did they win?
Because
Did they win? Did the Bulls win?
The Bulls won, yeah, but I was actually rooting for the Timberwolves.
Why are you?
Because the reason why I went is there's a guy who's there, one of their starters, Karl Anthony Towns, who also like streams and stuff. And I found out a while back that he actually like watched my stuff for a long while. And like he seems like a really, really cool dude. I'm like, oh shit, he's in town. I'll go see a game. And they lost by like 1 point. So it's like there's some weird calls though. For those that like basketball, if you saw that game, there was some weird calls in that game. The coach got a technical foul for, I don't know, do you know much about basketball or no?
I know what a technical foul is, yeah.
Everything I know about basketball came from NBA Jam, so I know that the Chicago Bulls are overpowered. That's all I know. Also, if you get
they are no longer overpowered. No, they are not.
Jordan
on fire. Yeah. How's the Charlotte Hornets doing? How are they doing?
Yeah, I've only just recently started to get back into following it. Basketball has always been my favorite sport, and I used to follow it a lot. But yeah, I bought the NBA League Pass and all that stuff because as a streamer and YouTuber, like I don't have time to catch the games, when they happen, so I have to like watch the replays and stuff. But went last night and I was able to meet him, and it was super cool. He's just like a real down to earth dude was a very surprising thing. It was like, oh shit, okay,
yeah,
you watch my stuff.
It turns out humans are also humans. You're quick to forget that sometimes. Weird, right? That these people.
No, I mean I've talked about it before. It's like you don't ever really consider it a whole lot. I mean I think about it every now and then, but gaming and Twitch and all that stuff and YouTube and whatever form people consume that kind of media has gotten so big nowadays that it stands to reason that some basketball players are into gaming and actors and whoever like are watching Twitch streams and whatever so it's just kind of a weird thing. But yeah, he's a super nice guy, and like met him and he was excited to meet me as I was excited to meet him, which was nice. Fucking weird.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that my chat has become a fucking NBA Jam thing where it's just like, he's heating up from downtown. I just wish they had those noises in actual games. It would be great. What were we going to say, Zeke?
Who was it? I missed who it was.
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, okay.
Plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But in general, like I was just happy to go to a basketball game because I missed that shit. I've been trying to like as a means to get in shape, like go to the local like sportsplex and play and try to like, not be shitty at basketball anymore. Because I used to play it a lot. So that's my thing. Also, I've played the Hunt.
How is that? I see you and Diction tweeting about that nonstop.
Yeah.
That was fun. Super, super fun. They had the first time I played it, they had a lot of issues because there was like a lot of server woes that they were dealing with. And there is a little bit of server lag that still happens here and there. It seems like, I mean, they're like early, still in development with that. But I know I'm not the only one here that's played it. But from what I played now, having had a horrible experience the first time I played it, they've sorted out a lot of it. And at least the benefit is when you're having that like server lag, everybody on the server is experiencing it. It's not like your specific, thing is getting messed up. But it's fun. I like the premise of it. It's neat. Everybody, of course, Twitch chat will come in and be like, oh, is this another battle royale? I mean, it's not. It's a survival kind of thing. It's more, I don't know. Who here has played it?
I've watched it and be played,
Okay.
but I haven't played it.
Maybe you guys haven't played it. I don't know. It's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I was telling, I think we were talking about this before Drop Frames the other day. I'm really happy that I'm having to move and do a bunch of other stuff in February because there's no video games out. There's just nothing coming out at all for the entire month. It's nothing. So it's nice just being like, well, I'm not going to stream. I'm going to do other house stuff and do live show stuff because otherwise I'd be like, well, I guess we're playing World of Warcraft, guys. Let's jump in. That would be awful.
I like it when you said World of Warcraft. You went into your like old timey prospect.
Yeah, no, that's why I did this.
Everybody, it's time to play some World of Warcraft.
That's what it sounds like when you play WoW. You boot it up. Welcome to WoW. And you go through. It's great.
There's gold in their MMOs. Man, I love
I just
it.
want to
would
play a prospect or MMO now. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the whole thing. It's like the old west. So
Yeah.
you want some gold, do you?
It's pretty awesome.
Gold, I need a pan first.
It's pretty great. I got a spam invite to a RPVP guild, and last night someone, because he just spam invites people that guild leader does. I don't say anything in chat. I just sit there and watch. And he invited someone, and immediately the first thing the person does is just start spamming like political memes just nonstop into the guild chat.
No.
And for the next like 2 hours, it just devolved into this huge like political debate / just shit on everyone. It was the best thing ever because eventually the guild leader logged on. He's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is a
How was World of
RPVP.
Warcraft yesterday, JP? Oh, it was good. I went on a raid with 24 Russian bots. It was fun.
It's fun. It's a fun time. Fun times for sure. But yeah. Zeke, how's that coffee? What type of coffee did you get?
Oh, it's just regular old. It's just like Starbucks, whatever their main shit is.
Do you use a Keurig? Or, we got to jump into the.
No. I'm sorry. It's not that. It's whatever Costco had. It's the Kirkland brand, like
Kirkland
coffee.
Kirkland. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. I ran out of the Starbucks stuff.
Dodger sent me a bunch of stuff for coffee, just like coffee related things, but didn't send me any beans or actual coffee. So I just have this giant, like, expensive grinder and a French press, and I'm just staring at them. And there's a Keurig next to it, and I just go over to the Keurig and put a little pot in there and hit start coffee, and I'm like,
Happy birthday. I bought you this $300 bong. What am I supposed to do with this? I do not know. Enjoy your enormous water pipe. Whatever you feel like.
French presses and grinders are cool, but you like have to clean them.
That's what
and
I'm
it's more
saying,
work,
Dad.
You know, it's just
I'm gonna make it once.
Does she not know you?
No, she does. I sent her and I was like, hey, what if I wanted to try some good coffee, what would I do? And she's like, I'll send you all this stuff. And I'm okay. And I was expecting like it to be simple. It's not simple, and I haven't bought any coffee beans. So maybe I'll buy some coffee beans this upcoming week, and we'll have French press coffee on next Saturday morning. That'd be great. Or it'll be awful. It'll probably be awful is what it'll be. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from that. Hopefully someone that's there as well. Hopefully one of you will do your research, or we'll be watching a YouTube video on how to French press coffee. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I bought you 3 cases of customized empty beer bottles in case you want to brew beer sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, the label say JP's Brew on it. Isn't that great? Isn't that thoughtful?
It's great. Yeah.
Here, I bought you this Xbox controller. I don't have an Xbox. Don't you? No, I don't. All right. Well, for the future.
Yeah.
when you
Good
do.
luck. Hey, you can use that with your PC at least, though, right? I
it was
just
like
have-
$50, man.
Yeah. It was expensive.
It's a nice controller.
Yeah.
Isn't
Zeke,
it the thought that counts? Not really.
No, it's not.
Zeke, how's Yakuza going? Are you still Yakuzing it up?
Dude, it's fantastic. It's so much fun. It's the thing. I mean, we talked about it a little bit on Drop Frames, actually a lot on Drop Frames, but
Yeah.
like main points to get from playing Yakuza is it's the writing and acting and all that stuff in the main story are fucking stellar. And everything outside of the main story, like the side quests and all that shit, is just this awesome sprinkling of just ridiculous goofiness.
It sounds like Japan to
That
me.
is such a relief to get, like, you're like, oh, this heavy hitting like mob story, and then you're in a fucking telephone booth, like telephone call booth where girls call in and you like answer, and you have to try to get them to meet up with you by like shooting the right response on a little mini game on the screen.
Yeah.
and like the goals are like now you can ask them about what their body is like. Now you can ask them about what their face is like.
Jesus Christ.
It's great.
By the way, Adam,
But man, it's so much fun. It's and there's like something for everybody in there that you can get lost in that's not the main story. Like I got lost in darts. Fucking oh my god, it angered me so much because you get hustled.
Yeah.
And I hate being hustled.
Yeah, you were
I
talking
hate
about
when
that.
a game is like, all right, you can win. We're gonna bet $1 million yen. How about 4 million? How about 10 million now? And you're like, you get to the 10 million, and the guy's like, triple 20, triple 17, triple 18. You're like, you motherfucker!
You got hustled, man.
How did you get this good? You fucking hustled me.
Yeah.
And then you go
It's as
back
if-
and you get hustled again to make sure, like, did I fuck up that bad? Nope, you're getting hustled.
Yeah. That's actually
But
Japan.
also, they also have like a really good poker simulator, and they play this game Omaha, which is another like Texas Hold'em is like a form of poker, and Omaha's a form of poker. And I've never seen a game that had Omaha in it before, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't played this in a long time. And I sat down and played that for about an hour. It was fun. But like that aside, the main story is phenomenal. It's like really well acted. The mocap is second only to Hellblade that I've seen. Like as far as like expressiveness of the tunes, really really good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
That's good. Adam, can you pronounce Yakuza for us so you can tell us how wrong we are?
Yes, the
And
name.
How,
The name.
how much of a dirty gaijin we are?
The name of the
Yakuza.
Japanese. The name of the Japanese criminal syndicate to which you're referring is the Yakuza.
Oh, the
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Yeah,
Yakuza.
the Yakuza. Yeah, Yakuza.
And it's Majima. I'm playing Majima.
Majima. I mean,
Majima.
to be fair, I don't pronounce it France, so it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
we're speaking English, and I try to let,
Man.
but it's Yakuza.
And I'm sure you still call it Japan and not like Edo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where are you going for your vacation, Adam? Nippon. What?
Nippon, yeah.
I'm going to Japan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Speaking of France, a random tangent. Friend of the show and past cast member, Day 9, is currently in Paris at the moment. And I've been trying to imagine what Sean is like in France. And every time I do, I just laugh. Because you know
Yeah,
that
right?
he's talking to the waiter, who's got to be a French waiter. And the waiter's just like, you fucking piece of shit American. Like, just stop talking. I just don't want to talk to you anymore. And Sean's just being Sean. And the waiter's just like, God fucking damn it. Fucking piece of shit. Just order your fucking coffee. So
Poor France.
Yeah.
Poor France.
poor France. Poor France. Yeah. I gotta talk to him about his Parisian adventures when he gets back for sure. Adam, did we already talk to you, Adam? What have you been doing, Adam? You just been doing RPG stuff. That's all I see you
role-playing
doing.
game stuff, man. I know, seriously. GM shit. If I'm not prepping for a show, I'm doing a show. So that's my life right now. Just all of that. Since I got back from San Francisco, I pretty much have just been like angling for the live show and the 3 episodes of Court of Swords we have between then and now. So,
It's great.
yeah, keeping me busy. That and Monster Hunter. Taking Monster Hunter at a leisurely pace. I'm like 50 something hours in. I think I'll probably be finished with it like soonish. But yep, tabletop shiz all day long.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sad
Yeah.
that I played Monster Hunter as much as I did in a short amount of days because it was like 80 hours in like 7 or 8 days, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, you Sam stripping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
I-
life?
see, that's the
Let's
thing
go
about
back
the
to
way-
normal life. This is bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is it like the way my stream schedule shakes out, I get between 2 and 4 days a week to do stuff on my actual channel, and then the rest of my time is taken up doing roleplay stuff, which I like, but it's very different. I can't, even if I wanted to mainline a game on stream, I just wouldn't have the space in my schedule for it. So
Yeah.
everything that I do, I get to play nice and leisurely, which is great for a game like Monster Hunter, but more difficult when it's a game like Persona that takes me like 3 months to finish.
Yeah.
Because I'm only playing it like 20 or 25 hours a week. But yeah, I had a realization a little while ago. I was talking to a friend of mine who knows me from before I was doing streaming, and she was like, "So how's Monster Hunter going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's pretty good." She's like, "How much have you played?" I'm like, "Oh, 50 hours." She's like, "Wow, that's a lot." I'm like,
Not really.
I was about to say like that's like a couple of weeks of play. I don't.
Yeah.
You lose track of the fact that normal people do not get to play games for like 100 hours a week, and games are designed to be played in smaller chunks. It's a very weird disconnect.
Yep. Yep.
I had that problem with Persona, where the thing that was bothering me about it, I was like, why do you keep telling me the story? Like I fucking know. And I was like, wait, I've been playing this for 8 hours straight. I'm not supposed to have. I should have quit 3 times in the amount of time I've been playing it. They're explaining to me because it might have been a couple of days since the last time I played. I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many
it's
hours
weird.
do you have right now, Dan and Adam? I'm curious to see how many hours you guys both have in Monster Hunter or finished it. 'Cause
Monster Hunter?
Dan's done, I think. But Adam, what about you?
Yeah, I just hit 60 hours, and
Okay.
I just fought the cool undead Dark Souls looking dragon, and then the like metal
Hawk or whatever. Yeah.
chrome looking one. Yeah, those two.
Yeah. Okay.
But I took way longer in low rank than I should have. I didn't realize I was gonna have to do all that shit over again. If I played it again, I would have just blasted through low rank and spent all my time in high rank instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan, how many hours did you put into it before you were quote done?
It took me 70 to beat the campaign. That's
Okay.
when I got to the end. Then I did play a little bit after the end game.
That's about, I think mine was like 65 or 70 right there. It seems like that's a good stopping point or a good
Yeah, I feel like I'm coming up on the end of it.
guesstimation of when you're going to get to the final boss, which is awful, by the way. That boss is just bad. It's just a bad encounter, but that's another.
Well, that's the
entirely.
gamble. That's the gamble in a Monster Hunter game, right? Like there's the first time that you do the whole run around shooting the ballistas and the cannons thing. It's like fun once, but then they make you do it a bunch of times. But games that do that, where they're like, here's the whole game. We've taught you how to play the game. We've taught you all of this stuff. Now here's a special encounter or situation where none of that counts anymore. Like just forget about all that stuff that you learned and do this other thing that might as well be the first time you ever did it. Monster Hunter's really bad for that. They do that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out and it's like you're fighting the fucking Shai Hulud off the side of a boat, but other times it's less well implemented. So I'm curious to see the kind of end boss of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Shy Halud, I love that.
I wasn't a huge fan of the like giant fire mountain boss.
Yeah, he was
like,
awful
the
too.
cinematic thing. Yeah, just,
They were all bad. Those 3 boss fights, the 3 missions where it's like the big bad, they're all fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick up cannonballs, move cannonballs from A to B, press button. And it's like the NPCs are just standing there and you're like, the cannon's loaded, jackass. Just fucking pull the trigger. And they're
What do
just
I
like,
do?
and you're like, fucking just close the thing. There's a button. Just push it. And they're like, fine, I'll do it. Shove the thing, and then they start picking up cannonballs again. You're like, fine. You know what? Maybe I should just let this giant mountain kill all of you. Like, fuck you guys. You don't deserve to live.
Yep. It's bad stuff. It's bad stuff for sure. Dan, you've been kind of playing a hodgepodge of games. Today you're playing some Papers, Please.
I'm drowning in the despair of empty list of games right now. It's just, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Is there anything that you're like super stoked for?
Oh, one thing actually did come out. That was the expansion pack for Civ 6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that good? Did you like it?
I mean, it adds some cool new features, but I don't think it's like $40 worth of features.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, like they add some like cool things, like now you have governors and there's ages where there's like dark ages and golden age, and like you can do that sort of thing. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's like $40 of new content in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely adds some cool features that make the middle of the game a little more interesting, because that was kind of like in Civ, you like get to the middle and just most of you just enter, and you're just waiting for like something to happen at the end. But they kind of fill in the gaps there in the middle a little bit better. Still not there yet.
Did they
I
introduce
feel like with
a
Civ
new...
games, I was just gonna say, I feel like with Civ games, that's kind of a tradition, right? Where there's like the game comes out, and then somewhere down the line, there's Game of the Year edition with all the expansions, and then there's this kind of expensive middle ground where you're like, if you want to keep up, it's $40, $20, $30. You get to the end and you spent $280 on a Civ game, and then they're like, Game of the Year, $60, includes all the expansions. You're like,
yeah, there's like 6 or 7 DLCs that just add like races to play as. And they're all like $8 to $10 each.
Is that an EA product? Who puts out?
No, it's
Civ? Is that Maxis?
2K.
Maxis is the developers and 2K is the publisher.
Firaxis, the one that makes
Firaxis.
XCOM.
That's right. Okay. Maxis is Sim City, right? Am I just making up a name?
The Sims Maxis is all the Sims games.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I get those confused sometimes. Did they do a new song or anything for the expansion, Dan, or is it still the same one?
They have a new intro, but the song's the same at the end, but they have a new intro cutscene.
Oh, okay.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It's not $40 worth, but it was cool.
Yeah. Is it better than? Will anything ever be better than what is it, Baba Yetu or whatever the name of that song was?
No, of course not.
No, nothing. Not even.
I mean, that song won a
it's
fucking
too good.
Grammy, didn't it? Like, or
it did.
Some
I
crazy.
just listened to that the other day with Amanda for the first time, and I just like cranked it up. It wasn't loud enough, the YouTube video like that it was. You need to listen to that song like fucking blaring and just like.
It's pretty good.
This is the song of humanity. This is why we exist.
Yeah, next time we need a song to put on like a Voyager deep space fucking record that we shoot off into Elon Musk. Next time you need to launch one of your expensive cars into space. Baba Yetu, motherfucker. We got to show the aliens what Earth is about.
That's true. I reluctantly did not get to watch any of that stuff live, but I watched everything afterwards. That was a crazy thing that happened.
Yeah. I'll sum it up for you. Really rich guy has too many cars, so he put one of them on a rocket and shot it into space to show he could. And then the rockets came back and we're like, "What's up, Elon?" And everybody's like, "Yay!" And that was it.
The funniest thing about all of that was like 2 or 3 days afterwards, someone I think it was a legitimate news article where it said, "Did Elon Musk just commit the perfect crime?" And it was a hypothesis that he killed someone and put him in the car and put him in space. And no one will ever know.
It's perfect. It totally is. Oh my God. That's great.
Yeah. Because who the fuck is going to go find out that there's a dead guy there? Yeah.
No, but the problem is going to be in like 40 years when President Musk is like, ready to start leaving the Earth, the fucking alien Interpol are going to show up and be like, "Mr. Elon Musk, we found this corpse in a car that you launched from the Earth. You were under arrest." They're going to take him away to space jail.
Yeah. It was good.
So much for humanity.
It might have been like an actual conspiracy or something like that, but they were saying like Elon Musk wouldn't deal with the body. So the guy that actually put that body in the car is then in the trunk because Elon Musk killed him and put him in the trunk.
No, Elon Musk just had an enemy and he knocked them out with chloroform, put them in the spacesuit and launched them into space. And they're just about now they're waking up, realizing what's happened to them.
Yes. Yeah. It's great. I thought that it was probably a real conspiracy article, but I thought it was complete like an Onion article. It was just great. It was so funny.
Any story that positions Elon Musk as like a supervillain, I'm into it. That's so good.
Oh, there's
funny.
so many of those too. There was a lot of like sub articles that were linked there. It's just like, is Elon Musk an evil person? Blah blah blah. Will he ruin society in 20 years? Blah blah blah. It's just like, what are you talking about? But yeah. That stuff was a lot of fun. And then finally, is anyone watching the Olympics? Am I the only Olympic person here?
When did that start?
man.
Has it started?
Yeah, the opening ceremony was about 48 hours ago or 36 hours ago.
Oh,
Snowboarding's on right now, I think. It's so weird because NBC's doing the coverage again, but like 2 events are actually live and all of it is actually is already happened, so it's done in post. It's real stupid to watch because they're like, "Will the American win? We'll find out next." You can just go online and find out who fucking placed where because it's already happened. So you lose a lot of interest, but some nights they have some stuff live. Actually, Max, it's on YouTube TV. That's where I'm watching it. So
I was just about to say, have you been watching it on YouTube TV?
Yeah, man.
Per chance?
I don't want to shield too hard, but YouTube TV is kind of good. It's not. I got it halfway through the Super Bowl because I was just kind of like, I can't watch the Super Bowl. This is stupid. And then someone from YouTube TV said, "Hey, you can watch it on YouTube TV." And I go, "All right."
And all of a sudden, today's episode of Quarter Swords experiences technical problems.
Yeah, it's great. It's I was watching what else? It's weird because none of us watch cable TV, but the nice thing about cable TV, at least for me, was you could turn on the TV at any time, and there's some awful movie that just because it's on, you're gonna watch it. And so last night, the Green Lantern was on, and I decided I'm going to sit there and watch all of the Green Lantern.
It's the TV trap. Like I think everybody has movies like that where within the first 45 minutes or so, if you see it on TV, you're like, I'll watch it. Like Blade is one of those. If I see Blade is on the TV, I'll sit my ass down and just be like, nope, I'm watching the rest of this movie. Give it to me. Give it to me, shitty 90s movies.
I feel like Forrest Gump is one of those too that'll suck people in. They don't mean to watch. They don't necessarily get through it all the way, but it's such a long movie that you can like be in, like, oh, it's Forrest Gump, and you like kind of watch a little bit, 5-10 minutes, and then you're like, I'll just watch a little more, and then you watch to the end.
Here's the thing that's weird about YouTube TV. I was watching Green Lantern, but I stopped watching it, as you do with cable TV. You just stop watching it, right? It saves it for you to watch forever. So you could just load up YouTube wherever you're at on your phone, whatever, and just start watching right exactly where you stopped. So it kind of breaks that illusion of like cable television existing, because it just saves everything for you. So I have like Pitch Perfect 2, Transformers, Green Lantern, Iron Man 3, like all these are like halfway watched, and it's just like, hey, if you want to resume them, go ahead. So it's pretty good. But yeah, I've been watching the Olympics. I think I'm the only streamer that actually cares about the Olympics for some reason. I
like the Olympics. I'm more into real, like I was gonna say real Olympics. Easy there, Max.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Easy.
Buddy.
Easy.
Whoa.
Real
like
Olympics.
I like real sports, not this Olympics bullshit. Take that, ancient Greece.
What do you mean by? Do you mean the summer? Are you into the Summer Olympics?
No, yeah, I feel like I'm into Summer Olympics more, just because there's a little bit more variety. I do, however, like the figure skating and all that stuff. They do crazy stuff with that. There's some other ones. Snowboarding I watch too.
Dude,
I used to watch a
snowboarding's
lot
the
too.
craziest thing. It's like watching.
Shaun White still snowboard? Does he
Yes,
still do that?
this is his final Olympics. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because eventually he's gonna have to stop. I would think.
It's his final
with
one,
age and whatnot.
There was I was
Right.
watching earlier today. There's like, I think he was 17 or something, some 17-year-old snowboarder. He goes out and pulls like a fucking 1440 corkscrew something. And I'm like, does someone have a controller and they're just playing a game right now as this is happening? Because that shit's not real. And then they started telling me all the other shit.
That snowboarder was
crazy.
sponsored by Game Shark.
Yeah.
Listen, we all know, and I say this as a Canadian, and it's my patriotic. I have to say this: the only thing that matters about the Winter Olympics is hockey.
It's hockey. Yeah.
That's it. That's all that matters. Everything else is like cool and fine. Maybe you tune into figure skating to see what kind of kooky music they use this year, but hockey is the only thing that I will actually watch any of.
Curling's
and
pretty good.
if Canada is not a part of it, I'm like,
Curling's pretty fun to watch. If you're in,
Curling.
Yeah.
With the,
It's the oddest
Yeah,
game.
curling-
Like it's so weird that it's a game with brooms and they fucking like try to get a rock to go further. Which,
I just want to. I don't care if I ever actually properly play curling. I just want to be the broom guy. Everybody else
they
does
alternate.
this stuff. and I'll
Everyone's
just
a
be the
broom
guy.
guy.
they're all broom guys.
They're
dude.
all broom
They're
guys.
all
Yeah,
broom guys.
they alternate. Going throwing
No,
the
fuck
rock
that. I'm
and
not
whatever.
doing anything else with the sport. I'm just gonna do the broom part and then I'm out.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then the luge stuff is always fascinating to watch
That's cool too.
because you're
Yeah, I
basically
like that.
watching to see if this person's gonna die. You're just like, well,
Yeah.
let's see if they make it out of this one alive, and then they shoot themselves down this fucking death trap at like 1,000 miles an hour on the back of a ski thing, and you're just like, well,
Listen, I've seen Cool Runnings like at least 2 times. That's another movie that if it's on TV, I will watch it.
Yeah.
I've seen Cool Runnings at least twice, and I know all about I'm a luge expert now because of Cool
Feel the
Runnings.
rhythm, feel the rhyme.
yeah.
Exactly.
They weren't losers technically though.
Yeah, no,
They were
it was a
once.
bobsled. That's right.
Oh, bobsled. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's true.
They were losers.
They're the same. Listen, let's be real.
Yeah.
get it.
And then
I was waiting for somebody to make a luge lose pun with the. You did it. You did
Each
it.
did,
What
yeah,
else is
sorry.
there in the Winter Olympics?
biathlon. Have
That's-
you seen that shit? It's literally Jason Bourne simulator. They fucking get on skis and sit there and go for 10 miles and then get a gun and they have to shoot targets and then they go for another 10 miles and then stand up and shoot 5 targets and then the thing's over. And you're just like, what? Why is this a sport? Like, what is this? Are these all trained assassins that decide to make a
Sounds
sport?
pretty cool.
It's really cool, but it's just bizarre because they're
I want the
there's-
summer. I want the
Go
Summer
ahead,
Olympics to be like that. I want them to do like a Jason Bourne thing where it's like a couple, buildings, mock buildings set up. They have to
Yep.
go through a window and
The
and
Bournes.
whoever does it the best.
Yeah, that's the Bournes. That's the name of that.
Yeah.
The 2018 Bornies.
Yeah, the Bornies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of the snowboarding. There's a bunch of ski stuff. There's like they basically took a lot of the X Games snow stuff and then put that into the Olympics, so it was cool again. Because otherwise, people are like, "What is curling?" Like, I guess we're gonna watch curling
Yeah.
today, or figure skating. And they made it popular with all that stuff. But But yeah, we got 2 weeks of it, so I'll be talking about it more on Tuesday. I'll give you guys some more updates on, on what I've been watching.
It's the beauty of the Olympics, though. It's on for such a long time that it's like, all right, well, what do I got to watch? Yeah. On YouTube TV, I'll watch the Olympics.
That's right. That's right. You can even log in.
Suck it, Twitch.
You can even log in to NBC because, of course, they have it to like log in with your cable provider. You can log in with your YouTube TV account and watch all the stuff there live from like NBC.com. So.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see that TV people are finally catching up to the internet and making it super easily to access all that stuff in just a browser.
Yeah,
it's nice to see that stuff. So,
yeah.
Anyways, I think we're here to play some D&D and not talk about the Olympics for 4 hours,
sadly not yet an Olympic sport, but we're working on it.
We're working on it. Yeah,
We're working on it. Olympic Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be a thing.
Once the esports gets in, D&D's right afterwards. So.
I mean, so competitive D&D, just as like a quick aside, competitive D&D used to be a thing. Like it was very much a thing at Gen Con. Yeah.
What do you do?
So if you pop open like an old AD&D adventure, like Against the Slavers or like any of those like early ones, and you look in the back, a lot of them will have a scoring guide for doing tournament style play. So they would have a bunch of DMs, and they would have teams, like adventurer teams, and they'd go to the thing, and they'd play D&D, they'd play through the adventure, and at the end the GM would score them based on how well the teams did, and then the best scoring team would like win at Dungeons and Dragons. And it was like, did they defeat all the monsters? How long did they get through? You get bonus points for getting through the adventure fastest, and they would keep the adventures secret and release them at Gen Con so they could use them as like a competition thing.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a thing that was like a part of D&D, and there's lots of these adventures that were written explicitly for that, which is why some of those old adventures just seem so fucking weird, because you're like, none of this makes sense. It's just a series of interconnected rooms that are totally not related to one another, but that's why. That's a thing. Yeah.
So there was no...
I'd love to hear...
There was no... I think... Can I make a perception check? They just fucking rolled the die.
I can imagine that it was like you had your D&D hardcores, the people who are just like you practice with your team and you like figure out how to play, because you don't get to know what any of the adventures are beforehand, and then it's just like, all right, sit down, let's do the thing. I don't think that any of them had like role-playing like awards, because that's all sort of subjective. So it was very much, you're not playing your character, you're just using your character as a pawn to rip through the adventure as fast as you can.
So that's where all those chat members come from. They were racers. Yeah, it makes sense. I understand.
Yeah.
And everybody would get like template characters, right?
Yes, yeah. The adventures would be like, you get three rogues, three thieves, 3 fighters, 3 wizards, 3 clerics to choose from. And then part of it is building it. There's a bit of like a draft thing there, and that you have to know, like, oh, this rogue has this ability. I wonder why. That seems like an outlier to have that proficiency. Maybe this thing is in that dungeon. Or like you'll pick a character who has like a bunch of useless abilities. And you're like, gosh, shit, we gambled on this character, and it's like, this is a bad one.
Someone in chat goes, too bad about that huge D&D doping scandal.
What would be a performance enhancing drug for D&D?
Adderall,
cocaine,
Adderall, probably.
Anything that makes you focus and have like, you got to get through that shit fast.
Yeah, you're just sitting there with the dice for 4 hours going like this, so you're ready at a moment's notice to just throw.
You know how people do like the poker chip thing, like when they're just sitting there for poker?
Yeah.
They're doing that with like fucking D20s and shit.
I just imagine someone who's like coked out of their mind doing that, and instead of rolling the dice, they just throw it at the DM.
Throw it at the table.
And see where the dice go.
Not 20.
Yeah. Oh god, that'd be good.
Yep.
I've done that only once.
What, coke or throwing dice at someone?
Oh, I've done coke tons of times.
Okay,
I'm talking about throwing the dice in the DM. Like, that's something I just don't do. But I did it once, and I regretted it.
You respect your implements.
Did the DM make you regret it, or did you just
you
regret
punched
it?
him in the mouth. Yeah.
I cannot imagine like a whole. It's like 1979, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and 4 highly coked up middle-aged like white men trying to blast their way through a Dungeons and Dragons adventure as fast as they can.
Yeah, he's just screaming lightning bolt for 30 minutes straight.
Right? Like, oh man, this is the kind of thing that like bad sketch comedy is made of. Like that would be
that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one for sure. Anyways, Jesus.
So yeah, no high speed cocaine fueled benders today.
We'll see
on
what
Court of
happens
Swords.
next Saturday. Make sure to tune in at 1:00 Eastern.
Well, am I bringing it, or do you have your own stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, we don't want
care
you
of
to
it.
cross. You can't cross state
Yeah,
lines.
you
with that
can't.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got it.
Well,
We
you
get the
can't
FBI
do
to
them.
do
You
that.
can't have them. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's fine. It's fine.
we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, after the
That's
show.
for the Patreon video.
Yeah, Patreon shit. Where do you think that money goes? Drugs, duh.
Right. Every time people are like, there's no way that the live show can cost this much money. Like, listen,
Yeah.
don't just do gutter coke, okay? We got to get the good stuff for the live show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh boy, this is going
We
to
live
a dark place.
Rockstar Rick James lives.
yeah. JB's house is sovereign territory. Exactly, 100%. Anyways, what a weird hole we went down.
Oh boy.
Let's do our goals.
So-
Let's talk about goals.
So
Adam.
let's do goals. So JP and I were talking about this a little bit before the show. We're gonna do goals. We're gonna do goals now, but we'll check them at the end of the session. And if you want to change up your goals, let's do it then, especially for now in the next session, because I want to make sure I have like time to prep for what's coming ahead. Because as it is, like a lot of these goals are resolved already, so I couldn't like plan around them. But if we do them at the end of the session, then I have until, I was gonna say the whole week, but I have like 4 days to plan for the next episode, and then I'll have time for the next one. So for right now, Berg, I have, now keep in mind, you're all out in the desert, and with Kalimat's new magic item, you have seen into the distance that there is something. There's a smoke rising. There is some kind of like settlement or something off in the distance, and you're going to head towards it. So that's where you're all at. Berg, your current goals are unlocking the power of the gift that Agni gave you, so the power of your stone arm. Find out why bad things keep happening to you. And then reattune the apology in whatever strange form it is. Now that you're not running away from wizards, you kind of do have like some time, though you also have intelligence 1.
Yeah, I do. I was really
So-
looking forward to being
Now
what
remember-
were the intelligence of a cow or something, or
Yes,
a rug,
rug,
whatever
rug.
we're at.
It's a rug.
Rug today.
We're at rug.
Your rug
form.
today. You'll be a cow tomorrow.
Rug today,
and
cow
slowly-
tomorrow.
Excited for some great RP from me, huh? It's gonna be good.
Slowly recovering your intelligence that was drained from you by the
Can
brain hound.
can
from
he even
before.
make intelligent decisions in a fight? Like, 'cause we need to like
yeah,
maybe
like,
define what a one is.
It's like an amoeba. No, it's like an amoeba. It's like stimulus response. Stimulus response.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like
would
you can
assume.
respond to things. You can respond to things that are like affecting you, but yeah. Let me see. So obviously the internet in all of its D&D wisdom has
What's
thought
my
about this.
direction?
So
What you direct me as a
okay,
as a
so
rug?
at intelligence 1, you are no longer capable of logic or reason. You can't form words because that requires deeper thought. You are, as Zeke said, you're only capable of responding to the things around you. So if you are hot, you will like seek cold. If you are hungry, you will seek food. Like it's purely instinctive at this point. At 2 and 3, you're like barely able to function, limited speech. You're gonna start. You're like a baby essentially. You'll probably be able to understand the difference between individual characters. You recognize faces at that point. Intelligence 4 to 5 is often resorts to charades to express thoughts. This is caveman intelligence, basically. The like man ape, the sort of like give food. Right. You're starting to
Berg's
develop.
normal.
Well, so that's 4 to 5. 6 to 7 is you're slow, right? Mispronounces words, hard to make leaps of logic more than one step. And then 8 and 9 is like forgetful, straightforward, kind of what's right in front of you, not a lot of strategic thinking. Which is the way we normally see Berg. So you'll be climbing that ladder back up towards intelligence 8. By contrast, what's your intelligence, JP? What's Sully Hoffa's intelligence?
We're at a 18.
18. Okay. All right. So not only very intelligent, but may invent new processes or uses for that knowledge, capable of putting together pieces in an unusual or unexpected way.
Yep.
So it's like the leaps of logic, understanding the world around you, and it'll slowly develop.
It's a lot of
as you go.
Adam. Can I?
Yeah. Right. Like
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. If these things were to happen, what would go on? You can kind of predict the
Not what would
future.
go on, but what would go on.
Gohan.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would go on? Where it's just all right. So Berg,
Yeah.
which is to say, Max for Berg, what are your goals? Because remember, these are player goals, not characters. They're goals for your character.
I don't know. It's hard to say considering I'm going to be stupid for a really long fucking time. So,
I mean, it's only like 7 days, right? You're out in the desert. It's going to take a while.
yeah. I mean, I guess I'll keep them the same. I don't really.
Okay, sure. I mean, I think at least unlocking the power of the gift and retuning the apology are possible for you, especially now that you have a little bit of breathing room. So, okay. So Ramus, we have from last time. Find out who the 5th guest is. Leave the Seclusium with something magical, and find out if Utrix is dead or alive. And I think you resolved 2 of those 3, right?
Yeah, the bottom 2 for sure.
Yeah, so you've got those 2. I can't remember. Did we do experience last time? This is why we need to like.
I definitely did XP in the post show. I don't know if Dan did or not.
That's right. Okay, Dan. Let me give you some XP for this stuff. So
Cool.
you are level what right now? 7.
7.
1 level 7. Okay, so let's see this one, and then figure out Utrix's fate is. Okay, so that is 2,900 experience for those 2 together.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so you have two slots, but also you can keep that first one, but I'm going to change its difficulty because it's going to be much harder to do now. If you want to still find out who she was, because nobody knows where she is, but you do have locate whatever if she's around. But you know, she also might be on another plane, and then you have the 2 blank ones. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove that one and then just do 3 new ones.
Okay. Do you know what you want them to be?
The first one is get Berg to safety. He's like my charge, so like get him to a place where he can recover and live.
I'm like your child. That's adorable.
Yes. Nobody wants Papa Ramus. That's a bad call.
Yeah.
Okay, so get Berg to safety so you can recover. All right. What else?
Then find out where we are. Like,
right. Yeah.
If we're on in the same place.
Yeah, that's a good goal. These are all relatively simple goals. Okay.
And then become closer to Kalamat.
Oh, cool. Okay.
How's that defined? We should probably ask that. What is that a Kalimat saying, "Hey, we're closer now"?
Learn more about him. Like, just like we don't really know each other very well. Like we've been on these adventures, but I haven't really interacted with him much.
Okay. I don't want to get in a situation where you're kind of like, kind of did that, not really.
For me,
I'm not really feeling
these kinds of like interplayer goals. I'll just be asking Zeke, right? I'll just be like, "Yo, do you feel like Kalimat and Ramus are like closer now?" And if Zeke says yes, then cool.
I will I'll let you know, and I'll say, "I am thou, thou art I."
Yeah, you got to rank up that star social link. Well, right. Okay, so Zeke, what do you think? Knowing what you know about Ramus and about Kalimat, would you say that this goal is easy, medium, hard, or like deadly? In a scale of 1 to 4, how hard would you say this is?
I would say it's easy.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
If someone reaches out to Kalimat, like he'll be pretty receptive to that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Sully Hoffa, let's talk about your goals.
Yeah. So we already changed.
We did yours. Yeah. So what do you want your goals to be now?
The one I got 1,500 XP for something. I forgot what it was. I deleted
something. One of your last ones. Yeah.
I kind of had the same idea that Dan did in terms of keeping Berg safe, but it was keeping Berg on track and out of trouble. I don't know if those goals, if we should just make the goals the same and work towards a common goal there, or if that's even something.
I think get Berg to safety and keep Berg out of trouble have the same end result, but they're both phrased differently, which I like.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the idea of a toddler basically getting lost in the desert,
Pretty
and just
much
wandering off doing his own thing,
staggering around in the jungle.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to find out where we are, but I want to find out where we are before Ramus.
Okay.
Just to do like the whole, arcane. The arcana is more powerful than religion, et cetera, et cetera. Although they're kind of
All
intertwined.
right, find out where we are before Ramus does.
Basically, intelligence over wisdom.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And then your last goal.
And then I'm still gonna keep discover the origin of the golden scarabs.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So Calimont, what are your goals?
Well, I eliminated one of them, but the first one is lead the party to relative safety.
Okay, good.
With the glasses, and since I have that new magical cool item that lets me what are they? The glasses of far seeing or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lenses of far seeing. Yep.
Yep. There you go. Eyes of the eagle. Yeah.
Yeah.
My second one is still find out what the prisoner was in the oubliette.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I really, really want to find out what that thing is. And then the second one was going to be like find out where in the world are we, since two people are already doing that. I might need a minute or a little bit of help. What do you think? Like maybe suggestion?
Well, okay. Calimont is do what we do when we play D&D. Envision your character in the place that they're at. So Calimont has found himself out in the middle of the desert with his friends.
Right.
The food and water situation isn't great. And Ramus has just accidentally had everything be eaten by a horrible magic bag. And there is something you can travel to in the distance, but you don't know if it's safe or like anything like that. But you've made the decision to head that way.
Now tell me if this is too close to my first goal to lead the party to relative safety. Scout out the area to make sure it's safe.
Well, so you're going to be traveling, so there isn't really like an area to scout out, right? Like if you...
No, I'm talking about the place that's where the smoke is coming from.
Oh, I mean, you could rephrase it to be like find out what the smoke on the horizon is coming from, right? Like because it might not be safe. That would be another thing.
Okay. Find out what the source of the smoke is.
Yeah. So then you can give them some kind of warning about the danger. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So when we return to the group, when we fade in on the episode, I think that it's probably been, now y'all are traveling by night and resting in the hut during the day, or vice versa. What's that situation?
I think that was the plan, because it's easier to stay on track at night with stars in the sky than it is during the day with whatever. Like that's at least what I would think.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
especially for a desert climate, we wouldn't be trying to do a whole lot of physical activity in the hot beating sun. Of course, Berg is not weighing in on any of this.
Yeah, but here's what happens. We get Ramus to run Berg around in a circle while I'm casting the spell to get our tent up. And then once the tent's up, I make sure that it's in Berg's path, so he just walks in and then kind of looks around and just sits down for 8 hours.
Yeah. And he'll just sit in place, staring and drooling.
Yeah. I make a window on that particular wall that maybe isn't a true outside window. It's just kind of a thing moving around.
Mm-hmm. Just distract him with some flickering lights. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I think we probably are. We fade in on the group of you traveling through the desert at night. This is the first night that you've been heading in the direction of the smoke, and it's been hours of just featureless sand dunes. They are hot and golden during the day, and sort of umber and indigo and freezing at night. There is occasionally signs of insect or reptile life, but very little else in this savage wasteland. The weather seems to be pretty tame right now. There's no imminent sign of sandstorms or anything like that. And the group of you, you've been doing this for several hours. What is the tenor of the group like? Like, are you trudging along in silence? Are you talking? What's the situation?
Well, I'll tell you that Berg is not talking.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me just write that down.
Yeah, everyone.
I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Solly's definitely, like we were talking about the end of last episode, he's easily agitated and a little bit gruff with people. And if someone asks him a question, it's very snappy. Like the answer is sarcastically given or aggressively given.
Okay. So who's leading this little expedition? Who's making sure you stay on track?
I'll tell you. No.
Probably Callie, I would think.
Ironically, Berg is the most qualified to. But right now, the only thing Berg could really lead you to is a random direction. Like
he's following a bird that is just like, what is that?
I mean, no, I think that. So here's the thing: how are you leading Berg through the desert? Is somebody like holding his hand? Ramus, did you tie a rope around his belt and like you're dragging it along? Like, because he'll wander off if you don't keep track of him.
If I had a rope still, probably.
Fair.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. Dan has nothing on his person anymore.
Yes, yeah. Ramus just puts the bag over his head and says goodbye to the cruel world.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm done.
There's always the bag as an option in case if things get real bad.
I think
things
after
get real bad.
A few days of this, Ramus kind of thinking about maybe I just put Berg in the bag. That would just solve so many things right now.
It's a bag. It's a
little
bag
thought
of
in the back of your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better in the bag.
No, I think I keep Berg on track by using prestidigitation and then creating an odor of food and just wafting that in front of him the entire. Like if he starts to wane off a little bit, I'll just like wave my hands and there's like the sense of meat cooking or something in front of him, and he'll just walk towards that.
Mm-hmm. That's
It
such a
seems to work,
dick
at least.
move, man.
It's
Constantly chasing food smell but never getting it.
Yeah.
I think Ramus is like near Berg, pushing him along if that trick isn't working to get him.
And I also think as that's going, like let's say for the first few hours and stuff, it's probably okay. But like as Berg still hasn't gotten the food, he's kind of getting a little animalistically like irritated. Like in the, just like body language kind of snappy. You know what I mean? As people try to get him to
If that doesn't work,
snarling and drooling because it's like food smell all day. So he's like salivating and like,
exactly. Yeah, you can only do that for so long before you visibly show signs of just being irritated.
Yeah, maybe Kalimat tells me like, hey, that's a little fucked up. Like maybe you can do something else. So I'll create like the illusory image of the tower or something in front of him to have him walk towards that up in the sky.
And since it's night, I think I will light up Kalamat, like have the light cantrip so that Berg sees this light just in the darkness and just he's kind of drawn towards it.
Yeah.
Like a bug.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Good idea.
Cool. Yeah, so there's this really bright light coming from Kalimat, this sort of circle or the sphere, this half sphere of light on the sand as you travel. And from a great distance, you would look like just this orb of light moving across the desert, leaving tracks behind you. Okay, so Kalimat, if you're leading the party, can you make a survival check for me?
Is your survival high, by the way? What are you rolling, Zeke?
No, it's I have a +1 to survival.
Fuck.
And I'll give you guidance for the roll.
Okay, that's
okay.
And that gives me D4 or
an extra D4. Yeah.
Okay. So 12.
Fuck.
Or excuse me,
roll
sorry.
it.
I gotta roll it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay, yeah, so you have 12. All right.
bad.
So I mean, it's
it's not like we're gonna get lost. We have a point thing to go to.
yeah. It's not super clear, and the wind is pretty tame where the smoke is coming from. But whatever it is that you can see, it's below the horizon, so that you're just seeing the smoke. So if that fire goes out or the wind picks up, you get turned around. But for now, yeah, you're fine. You're traveling along, and
And as we're
yeah. Go ahead.
As we're going, I kind of start lightly singing a nomadic song about traveling and about being in greener pastures and about hunting and finding food and you know, that kind of thing. Something from my travels and my songbook.
Okay, cool.
And if I was thinking, I would have written something before the show, but I just thought of it just now.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
yeah, that's fine. All right, so you're trying to keep people's spirits up. You're the most experienced like traveler of everybody in the group, so this is probably less strenuous for you. But you're guiding by hope, right? Hope that this whatever this source of smoke is, that it's something of value. So today you travel. You travel across the desert, or tonight, I guess, and it's only the first day, but 8 hours of walking through sand in the cold is not fun for anybody. And I don't think anyone is equipped for like cold weather travel. So I'm gonna get everybody to make a Constitution save at the end of the day.
All right. Can I somehow give myself advantage on this with? I can have up to 3 prestidigitations going at once. Could
this is like all. This is all day. I don't think it'll give you the opportunity to.
Oh, it says
protect
for 1
yourself from
hour.
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I'll just make
It's a real good con save there, Berg. Nice
Okay.
job.
Yeah, 8. I probably fail. Oh,
Oh boy. So Calimont, like Sully, Berg, Ramus, you're okay. Because ironically, your armor and the stuff you have to wear under the armor to keep it from chafing you is quite thick. So if you're traveling during the day, or like even being out in the city of Brass during the day, normally you're the one who's just like sweating to death. But it's keeping you better like heated than everybody else. But the other 3 of you take a level of exhaustion. And Calimont, why do you suffer worse than anyone else in the group? Why is it that you end up? Is it just because your constitution is frailer than the others, or
Just as a technical matter, is there a place to mark down exhaustion?
There might be.
I don't think there is in this character sheet. I just put
it in ideals. That's where I've been.
Oh,
noting
you
it down.
can add. So like Calimont, for your character sheet, if you look underneath flaws, there's like class resource and other resource.
Yeah.
You can name the other resource exhaustion and then just put a 1 in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
Yeah, I know it's not really a resource, but
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I've just kind of been noting it down. By the way, did I have any sort of existing exhaustion already? Sometimes I forget to get rid of the exhaustion from fights and
no,
stuff.
I think it's fine to start fresh.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to keep it at a -1 because I think that's from a previous time that I just didn't get rid of because I don't really have like the counter thing set up for that.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, Calimont, why is it that you suffer worse than anyone else?
Maybe like the mental strain.
I'm not-
because you're the leader.
I'm not used to being a leader.
Yeah.
Like this is something that I'm used to. I mean, I can travel around by myself, and I used to travel with my folks, but I've never been in I never felt like I should be in charge of anybody, and it's a lot of second guessing, a lot of pressure to try and get these people to safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. So it's more of like your mental state reflects in your physical state, and by the time the sun starts to rise on the desert, casting a bright light across the plain, banishing the dark purple and blue of night for the white gold of day, you're all just like ready to lie down and be done with it. Sully, you conjure up the tiny hut
Yep, that's it every night, or I guess every
morning.
morning at like 10 o'clock. So we probably start walking when the sun is going down at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think in that case you are you're all gonna get a chance to rest. How's the food situation? Do you have
I got
rations?
I got it.
Okay.
Calamot, what's your favorite kind of food? Simple food.
Oh, honestly, bacon. If you were really to ask me, bacon would be my favorite food.
What a wonderful idea. Well, thankfully, with the power of the gods on our side, I can make that happen. I cast create food and water, which creates
Nice.
45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
Jesus.
It's not very tasty bacon, I warn you. It looks
Now-
like bacon, but
Here's the question. And I know that this is like a traditionally nitpicky D&D question. In what do you store the 30 gallons of water?
it says in containers, so it magically makes containers too.
I wonder about that. Do you think that's its intent? Like
Well,
water on the ground
no,
or
it
in
says-
containers within range?
Hmm.
I think you're supposed to cast it into containers within range.
We would have some sort. Only we would have like a canteen or something. No, maybe.
I mean, would you?
I'm trying to think if I could help with this in any particular way.
Are we trying to decide whether or not, like, when he just creates water, it's just water? Like,
Well,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but
I don't
don't you
think-
think he would have the intelligence
I have
to,
a
like,
water skin.
I
Plan?
think you need to
Yeah.
have the container.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what we do.
Okay.
If we have a water skin, I will cast enlarge on the water skin and make it a bigger water skin.
How long does enlarge last?
Up to 1 minute, I guess.
Drink quickly, boys.
Yeah, we're all standing around going like this. I'm like, you guys.
You're like hamsters at
Are
the
you
giant
ready?
water.
That's exactly.
Each
just
person
turns
gets
into that
15
water when it-
seconds. 15
when it happens
seconds
there,
of
man,
chugging.
Bergs, you don't gotta tell him twice.
I think it. Let me just paste this to make sure.
No, can he? Like, if I hold up my water skin, can he just put it inside of it?
He can, but a water skin doesn't. Yeah, concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah.
A water skin doesn't hold like that much water, right? Like, I think it's
A day's
one.
worth, though, right?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think so. If you're going to cast this every day, you're basically just like feeding everybody and then filling one water skin. You're going to be on a very thin margin of error. But that's the thing.
It only doubles it in dimension, and it multiplies its weight by 8.
So it's only twice as big as the normal skin for only a minute.
Do we have any? I'm trying to think. If
I
there's
also
any-
have a water skin.
Here's your food and water needs, right? You need one gallon of water a day and 1 pound of food a day because you're both medium creatures. But your water needs are doubled if the weather is hot, but you're traveling at night, and the dome protects you during the day. So it's 1 and 1 of each.
Hold on.
You all would also
So if we
know
can
that
figure
Berg
out if a water skin holds a gallon, then you're good.
Could I?
But I don't know that it does.
Alternatively, could I cast levitate on water? Because I can levitate something up to 500 pounds. So could we just have water floating?
A floating cube of
10
water.
minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Gee, outer space, just
Listen, what kind of fantasy shit are you playing right now? Okay.
this fantasy shit is perfect.
I don't think water is one object exactly.
It says object of your choice that you can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet, remains suspended there for duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. An unwilling creature. It's not a creature.
Let me. You know what? I'm not going to
Does it
decide. I'm just
constitute
gonna-
an
I'm gonna roll-
object? It's
I'm gonna roll a d6. Okay, sure. You can levitate 500 pounds of water for up to 10 minutes in a huge. There's a globe of conjured water.
Well, he can only make. Hold on. He makes
30 gallons.
30 gallons. Oh God.
How
much
heavy is 30 gallons of water? Jesus.
Hey, if I can do it, just float
This
the
is
big
because you
style
brought
points.
this up, Adam. This is why we're doing this
30
math.
listen, 30 gallons of water at 62 degrees Fahrenheit weighs about 8.5 pounds. So you're okay on weight, no problem.
Okay.
I don't know how much is in a bathtub of water. Like
Depends on the size of the bathtub. Being that I
Right, an
just bought a
average
bathtub, ours holds, I think,
an average bathtub. Okay, a very
ours
small
holds 90
bathtub is
gallons, I
40
think.
40 gallons. So yeah, a large single person
Yeah.
tub is 100 gallons. So like yeah, less than a small bathtub, like a basin of so like a sphere of it's 8 pounds per gallon. Yeah. Anyway, you're fine. You can live it. It's only 10 minutes, so everybody can just drain from the water blob. I don't know, and then it splashes down on the ground on the water. So
It's amazing how helpful Google is.
hate this, Adam.
Ridiculous.
it's not that I hate it. It's just so confusing. Like it's like, but then floating water sphere. Like I know you're just trying not to die of thirst, but all that really matters is how much a water skin can hold. So let me
Wait.
It's
Right as you-
half a gallon, I think.
I got an idea for next time.
Jesus Christ, America. How much is 4 pints?
4
4
pints.
pints?
What
Gallon.
percentage of a gallon is 4 pints?
There's 4 pints to a gallon, right?
Why didn't it just say
No,
fucking gallon?
It's 8 pints
No,
to a gallon, so it's
There it
4
is.
to a half, so it's half a
So
gallon.
it's half.
Yeah.
So you can't. Your water skin, a single water skin, cannot sustain you for a day of travel with water. So, I guess no. You know what? I guess what happens is you conjure the sphere of water. Everybody fills their water skins and drinks, fills them again, and goes to bed. The water falls into the desert. The next day, you drink that 4 pints as you walk through the desert, and then at night you do it again. So you get like your daytime drink and your end of the day drink.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also,
Okay.
before it drops, I jump into the water. It's the final act of the water. I just like jump in and swim around for 2 seconds.
Unfortunately, you're levitating the water and not you, so you just go right through
Yes,
it.
exactly. So it's like 2 seconds of I'm free. Oh, fuck, I'm back in the desert.
I was gonna say, whenever that water sphere or whatever shape it takes, like once you form that in the I'm assuming just in the air right above us, whatever, Berg is excited. He just goes for the water. He's like jumping up, like,
Oh yeah. No, we're at a water park for 5 seconds each. Yeah.
Splashing into his face. Yeah.
I just imagine like Berg walking into the water and his head is like just submerged.
Yeah, we gotta pull him out because he starts.
no, if it's
he
down
starts
at that level,
suffocating,
yes,
yeah.
Berg is 1,000% doing that. He's like putting his head in the water, and he's like, and confused why he's starting to like.
Yeah, bubbles going out of
Yeah, you start trying to talk and suffocate. We have to resuscitate you a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing.
Amazing. All right. Okay. So, so you rest, and we're gonna do those con checks. We'll do them at the end of the rest rather than the beginning. So this exhaustion that everybody has except for Ramus, you have that because of today, and that counts tonight. So you'll go out into the desert today with a level of exhaustion. You'll roll again. So let's have another navigation check from Calumet. So make that survival check for me. Yeah, with guidance.
Okay.
Every time Ramus casts guidance on you, it's like a sense of foreboding, right? Like it's trying to guide you around the worst possible thing that could happen. So every time you cast it, you get like a sense of unease. Berg, you're at 2 intelligence now.
Yay!
Oh
So-
boy. Okay.
Do we know that? Like, can I make an insight check to see how he's actually doing here when he's?
No, because he's making the check. So
Oh God, me
Yeah,
and Dan
you're
both
busy-
have
you're
like
busy wrangling-
so much better survival. Than
you're busy wrangling Berg. And that's the thing, right? Is that Calumet is leading with confidence, right?
Yeah.
Calumet doesn't even realize. So you head out into the desert. And I think there's a bit in the morning, there's a bit of a wind that's picked up, or at morning, at the beginning of the night, there's a bit of a wind that's picked up. But it's a crosswind and it's not too bad. There's a bit of a haze because of the sand blowing around, but
Is
you
this
think you're
night too?
setting out okay. Yeah, this is just the second night.
Every night I am taking detailed while we're walking, if possible. I'm taking like detailed notations of the stars.
Yeah, make an Arcana check for me.
Fuck, 10. Not bad at all.
Okay.
Or not
All
good.
right. I mean, the stars, there's nothing immediately unusual about them. Like the tarot, the arrangement of the constellations are they're a method for future telling. They tend to be a little bit looked down on because the tarot is a much more civilized way of determining the future. It's expected that if you read the future by the stars, you're probably a bit of a eccentric, or you come from a more sort of rural tradition where you might not have access to cards, sort of looked down on in fortune telling.
Yeah.
But as an astrological guidepost, nothing immediately leaps out to you as being off
Out of
or
place.
strange.
Okay.
Kind of the constellations are upside down, that sort of thing.
Well, I'll
and
do
I
it
imagine
every day.
you know them by their turtle names, right? Like the great whale, the school of sharks, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Calumet and Berg and Ramus would all disagree with you on what each thing means.
Totally.
But yeah, so you're not navigating by them exactly because you're not a sailor, but you are you're aware of their presence and looking for changes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So I'm doing that every day, or as frequent as possible as you will let me.
Yeah. I think once a day is good.
Okay.
And so you all head out, and you can feel the weight of the journey on your bodies, right? Like you're getting tired. This is not the kind of thing that you're used to. Everybody's boots are always full of sand if you're wearing them. Or for Sully, you can feel your skin starting to get dry and like cracking as you travel. Because even though it's not hot, it's still like it's cold and it's dry. And those are bad for a creature that relies on being moisture.
That's why I'm running through the levitated water every night.
Yeah, totally. So let's get a con check from everybody. DC 10. Okay.
Collie rolling well.
Good.
Berg
Ooh,
rolling
okay.
well.
So
Hey,
everybody.
hey.
So everybody everybody's going to not take another level except Berg. So y'all see Berg is starting to slow down. You were at level 2 exhaustion, Berg, which your body is very familiar with. This is a long day of post rage exhaustion.
Berg's been here before. He knows this well.
So Berg, you're about as intelligent now as a domesticated animal. So what does exhausted Berg look like? Like you're normally you're fast, right? Everybody would have to try to run to keep up with you if you were running at full tilt. But you're exhausted. You're starting to recover your mind. What does that look like?
He's visibly frustrated. His legs are feeling a lot heavier. I'd say the sand's like catching his feet and his legs a lot more, and he's expressing his frustration by like grunting every now and then, and you see him like going like this at his face and stuff too. Like some like dogs like have something wrong with them. So, but all they can really do is just like go like this kind of thing, even if they don't necessarily have an itch. So he's doing that a lot. And he's like doing this to the sun, and he'll stumble down a few times and like go to his knees.
Definitely, yeah. So you're actually slowing the group down now because your speed by the end of the day, your speed will be halved. So yeah, y'all can see that Berg is stumbling in the sand and like having a hard time keeping up.
It's just
Does anybody do anything, or are you just?
I have a really
"Come
bad
on."
evil thought that I kind of want to do to try to counteract that, but I don't know if I want to say it out loud because it would mean it's just bad.
But Adam,
Best not to do such thing. Yes.
don't we complete a long rest each night?
Yeah.
In
So
the
the
tiny hut. So
the
my
last
level
one.
of exhaustion from yesterday is gone today.
No,
right?
you would have. Yeah, you would have. You still have the one from yesterday. We do these at basically when you get up to travel, and then when you sleep, you'll recover one. So Berg will go down by one, and then all of you will lose the one you have now when you long rest.
Okay.
Yeah. I did the con save before I told you were resting. It should have come after. It comes at the end of the rest to see if you recover from it, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
Okay,
gonna-
and I think that this as you're traveling, I think that at some point when you aren't paying direct attention to him, you notice Berg has lagged behind. And Berg, for you, you're following these people, the food and water havers, across the desert, and you're getting slowed down and you're tired, and you can feel your body. You can feel the sand starting to like it's hard to lift your foot each time that you take a step, and then you realize that your feet are sinking, and you're like knee deep, and then you're like thigh deep, and you can't, and they're getting further and further away from you, and you can't keep up, and the sand is just like pulling you down underneath. What do you do?
Yeah. I guess Berg, he starts to like, as he realizes he's sinking into the sand, he just starts to panic and yells. He can't really say any words right now.
Yeah,
can he? He can say like one.
No, you don't have words yet. That's tomorrow.
So then it's just noises.
Tomorrow,
he's literally like that. Like,
yeah,
just belting that out as it's getting waist deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I just turn around. What was
okay?
Berg?
Yeah. Berg has stopped and is like waving his arms.
Berg!
I haven't stopped. I'm just
as
waving and yelling.
Okay.
Yep, I'm
right.
getting the rope out of my burglar's pack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying to like throw him a line.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you run back towards Berg, and he's kind of gotten off track, right? So you're running like diagonally to run back to him, and and you see him, and he's sunk like up to his waist in sand. How tall are you, Berg?
He is 7'1".
Okay. All right. So you have let me see how much you've sunk already. Okay, yeah. So about 3 feet of Berg's 7 feet is submerged in this quicksand, and Calamite, you come running back, and you can see him like flailing, and it's just pulling him like down. It's separating the sand, and he's sinking faster.
I think at least I do. I don't know if Ramus is, but I come up running after Calamite gets there. I see. Are you like wrapping the rope around him, Kali?
Yeah, well, I'm not. If I can, I'm throwing the rope to him right now.
Throw the rope to him.
Okay.
Yeah, does he grab it? Is he smart enough to fucking grab it?
No, I don't think so. Like, Berg,
so he's not grabbing the rope. So I pull the rope back and I start tying.
That's the trick, right? So Berg, one of your food having friends comes running over. A member of your pack comes running over, and they're making noises at you, and you hear your name. You'll hear like a bunch of sounds, and then you hear Berg, and then you like they're definitely talking to you, Berg, and then Calumet does something, right? The horn looking one does something, but it doesn't make any sense, and you keep sinking.
As I'm standing there, like grab the rope, Berg. I realize he's not going to, so I just cast levitate on Berg in hopes to try to just pull him out of there.
Okay.
I don't know if he has to make a roll
willing?
against it. I don't know if it's willing. Let's
I don't think he's not smart enough to be willing. So make the save.
Does it?
See, this is where I will roll incredibly against you.
Well, does it? It doesn't say anything about. Constitution.
Unwilling creature that succeeds. So I think he's unwilling to have spells cast on him across the board. He's not smart enough to give consent to have the spell cast.
And my spell save DC is 15, so 15 or higher on your con save.
All right, Constitution save. 15,
Does he have
DC
advantage?
15.
No, only when he's raging, right? Or that's strength. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That's strength. Yeah.
Go ahead, Berg.
So you want me to roll con?
Yeah.
Con save. Boop. There you go.
I fucking told you.
Berg, instinctively, you feel the spine-tingling tendrils of magic wrapping around you. Some horrible thing is happening to you. You feel magic, and like instinctively you shake it off. The spell does not take hold.
And I can realize the spell takes hold very quickly. It's not something that...
You know right away, because it's just like grab, pull, but you go to grab and he's slippery and the spell dissipates.
Okay. I see that the spell doesn't work, and I'm just like, we don't have time for this.
Hang on, Berg sinks further, because y'all are doing shit.
Yeah.
Actually, Ramus, you have a chance to do something. If you have something you want to do. Everybody gets a chance to do something before he sinks more.
Let's see. I am going to cast Enhance Ability on Berg to enhance his strength so he can pull himself out. Okay,
sure. You have to touch him to do that.
Oh, is he not close enough?
Yeah, fuck.
I know. You don't know. You could take your turn to make a perception check to figure out where the puddle of quicksand is.
Come into the quicksand.
I think I'll do that. I'm going to take a good look.
Yeah, Ramus, unlike Berg, you're smart enough not to run right up to someone who's drowning in quicksand.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
make
a
a check to
perception
see.
check instead. Okay. Yes.
Can I stop you, Ramus, and then like tie a rope around your rope around
so
the
hold
waist
on,
first?
Ramus isn't doing anything. He's just taking a look to see where the sand is. So yeah, Ramus, you can see that he's in the middle of. Let me see if there's like a random. Okay, yeah. So there's like kind of a 13 or 14 foot kind of circular, like oval shape, and he's in the middle of it. So he's about 5 or 6 feet away from the any edge. And
so the diameter is like 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and so while you're all taking your first action, Berg, you sink another 2 feet. So you are at 5 of 7 feet. So there's 2 feet of you. So it's like up to your armpits, I guess, or like a little lower. And yeah, Berg is flailing and sinking into the quicksand.
Is it next round?
And now,
so to speak?
now everybody else can take another action. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I speak out loud. We don't have time for this. And I'm going to do what I wanted to do before that I said was evil. Berg, here's the goal for this, Adam. And I don't know if you're going to allow this, so you got to tell me. I'm wanting to give him disadvantage on a Constitution check by making an illusion of either Azure Vortex or the slave master whose name I'm forgetting.
Kukrit.
Yeah, Kukrit. Basically, I'm wanting that to become a focus of his, like, he might not be smart enough to recognize it. I don't know.
Yeah, you can do that, but whether or not he recognizes it, illusions you can't affect his constitution. That's a physical thing.
Fuck.
You'd have to like hex him or something. You could definitely, like, if you recognize it, it might make him mad, but he's still at a level where his visual recognition, his like object permanence recognition is not great, and he might not even remember if he saw either of those people.
Well, I might not even do that then. I think I'll give Levitate one more go, I guess, because I only have 2 more spell slots, and we need it for the water at the end of the day, and it's a 15, so I don't. Yeah, I'll give it one more go. Make a con save, Berg.
All right, Berg, make that Constitution save. 15 or higher.
Okay, 7.
Okay, so you fail this time. Now you still do have to contest with the like sucking power of the quicksand.
Right.
But you can make let's say we'll make an Arcana check to pull him free. The DC of which is going to be, this is like in place of a strength check of you physically pulling him out.
Okay.
So the DC of this is going to be how far do we say you sank?
2
It was
plus
5 feet, right? Yeah, it's 5 feet so far.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So DC's 10. Just DC 10 Arcana check. Just to focus the spell enough to. Oh yeah, no problem.
I'm fucking tired of this shit. So I'm just like pulling him mentally out of here. Yeah.
Okay. So just
he probably gets like thrown to the ground in terms of the force.
Levitate is not. The thing is, you can't. You're not done yet because you can't levitate someone back and forth. You can only move him up. So Berg can be.
That's where I come in.
Exactly. Berg can be up to 20 feet above the quicksand. So now, Berg, like, you're weightless, right? You've been pulled up out of the quicksand. You've been pulled out of the quicksand, and you're just floating. And like, what are you doing now? Yeah. Just shouting and sand dripping off of you. And yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the shoes of jumping. I'm gonna take a running start, jump, and
I'm muted.
try and push him, like, out of the
so you're gonna
circuit
run,
diameter.
You're gonna run and jump, and then the idea is to collide with him and pull him to the other side of the pit.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So, what are your Longshanks escape? What does it give you for jumping? It like doubles your.
It's like, I think it's like just
like
like the spell jump.
Yeah, it's a spell jump.
Okay, so the jump spell.
I'll pull it up real quick and paste it.
Yeah, we got it here. Yeah, your jump is tripled until the end of the effect. Yep. So jumping currently, a long jump is okay. So how high above the ground did you lift him, Sully? It's up to 20 feet. We got to do some quick like trigonometry to figure out this arc.
I would think with an 18 intelligence and with the idea that I knew Kalimite was going to jump, it's whatever the most optimal jump height would be.
Okay, so we'll figure out the arc
So like,
of the
yeah,
the arc
whatever
of the
whatever's
jump.
going to be his arc.
Yeah,
at
you can
the-
do that math in your head.
Yeah.
Sacred geometry applies to regular geometry. Okay, so you're jumping. This is amazing. Dungeons and Dragons. It's the best. Okay, so a long jump, you can cover a distance of up to your strength score, Kalimat. So triple that.
Okay, 21.
So you can jump 21 feet. If you get a run at it, you can make a high jump. Here we go. This assumes the height of your jump doesn't matter. At your obstacle, you must make a DC 10 athletics check to clear a low obstacle or like aim for a specific place. So that'll be a thing. I don't think high jump is a problem. So I think the thing here is going to be strength check both to like aim the jump so you don't over jump him or like under jump, you hit him in the middle, but then enough that you have momentum to crash into him and drag him like to the other side. So let's call it an athletics check with a DC of 10 just to hit Berg. So let's call it 15.
Ramus, do you want to help?
Man,
here?
it's
Yeah,
I know it's
with
gonna
all
be
the
tough.
jumping and weirdness. It seems more like acrobatics than athletics.
Athletics is running and jumping.
I know. I hate it.
I know. And it's about force, right? It's about crashing into him.
Okay,
and
so
pulling
what's
him.
the DC?
It'd be DC 15.
You have guidance as
All right.
well.
So I look at Ramus and Salihafa, and I'm like,
I will help
gonna-
you by being something for you to jump off of. I will crouch down so you have something to jump to.
Nice. So you bless him, and then you get down into like
We're like-
stool position.
Yeah, we're like we're the rejects from Circus du Soleil at the moment.
I was gonna say the Harlem Globetrotters music starts to play.
yep.
Jesus.
And I
Yeah.
say before I go, 1 second, and I tie the rope around my waist,
Mhm.
and I hand the other end to Salihafa,
Okay.
just in case.
Yeah, I tie it around my leg and also hold on to it. While
Okay.
one hand is like focused on levitating Berg and the other hand's on the rope that's tied to my leg.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So what's the DC?
15. Yeah. So you're
Jesus
gonna roll
Christ, are you
athletics.
serious?
You're gonna roll athletics. You have advantage from Ramus, and you have guidance.
Oh, okay.
So you
Uh,
have
Okay.
a pretty good chance.
levitation's 10 minutes, so we might get multiple tries at this. I don't know. That's up to Adam.
Yeah.
No charges on the jump. I don't think. All right, here we go.
Oh,
There you go.
Hey.
Nice.
One and done.
Okay. So yeah, had you failed, it wouldn't be about necessarily like missing. It would have been that you would have hit Berg and then like a pool ball knocked him away and then fallen straight down. You would have transferred your
tied the
energy to
rope.
him. Yeah, exactly. So the two of you collide into midair and like a terrible romance movie set in space, you spin weightlessly for a moment and then twist out and land on the other side in the sand. Berg, what do? You're weightless for a second, something slams into you, and then all of a sudden your blue friend is like right there on top of you and you get knocked into the sand.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, and this is all happening right away. So it's a combination of Berg like, and then just like he gets hit, and then just lands in the sand and kind of like, I think he just like brushes stuff off, like gets the sand out of his face and stuff, and is just kind of making like weird moaning sounds, just like,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, now that Ramus has clearly figured out the space that the quicksand is, you can take Berg around it, and continue to navigate out into the desert.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. So you get a chance to rest at the end of that night. The wind has picked up somewhat though. So by the time you settle in and you get the orb up, the whole day you can hear the rasping of the sand kind of blowing against the side of the side of the hut.
Okay.
And during the day while you sleep, I assume you're like keeping watch?
Yeah, there's except for Berg, it's 3 shifts of
Okay.
3.5 hours. or 3 hours and 20 minutes.
All right, so you get a chance to rest.
Whatever the math is.
There's water, water and food thanks to Rammus's magic, and you all sleep. If you have a level of exhaustion or 2, you can clear them now. Clear one level, and then when you wake up the next morning, then we'll roll the save again to see how you do. So we'll roll it at the beginning of the day. So you clear 1 if you have it, and then DC 10 con save for everybody. And I think that as the night goes on, while y'all are getting your sheets out and rolling this, so as the night goes on, imagine for us in chat, the orb is invisible from the outside, right? So from the inside, it's tinted darkly, so you can still see through it, but you're not blinded as the sun comes up. Now, however, today the sun is obscured by clouds of sand that are sort of swirling around. And from outside, as we look down on the orb, or the absence of orb, it's like Wonder Woman's invisible plane. We can see one side getting sand, a dune starting to form up on top of the side of it. And by the time the day is ready, there's sand that's crawled like all the way up on top, and one side of the dome is just like covered in sand. If the weather continues like this, it's going to be dangerous sleeping in these things because you'll get buried by sand.
Right. It'll go away and we'll just get smushed by the sand on the
exactly. Yeah, you'll get suffocated. Yeah. Okay. Because the I don't know, does the hut provide its own oxygen source? Like, is air?
Let's read what it says.
Spells can't affect through. The atmosphere is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside.
It's kind of vague.
I don't think I don't think you could cast it. Like, if you cast it at the bottom of the ocean, pumped out all the water, I don't think it would automatically create atmosphere inside of it. So yeah, you got to be careful, because if it gets covered in sand, you'll run out of air. Yeah. All objects are barred from passing through, which is why the sand doesn't go through it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you just kind of got to hope that or find a different place for it, or hope that the weather changes. But for now, when night falls, it picks up, and there's howling wind. And so when the bubble is gone, it's that sudden cold, but now accompanied by the whistling of the wind and the rasping of sand carried on the air. I think that Berg, you're at level 3 now, right?
Yeah.
For intelligence.
Should be now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which should be barely able to function, very limited speech and knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you're able to start saying words. You've got like toddler vocabulary. So we all see you standing in the sand as the bubble goes away, packing up your stuff, getting ready to leave. And Berg, do you say anything or do anything? You're starting to maybe recognize these people. You're like, you can tell them apart from one another really easily now. And you're starting to pick up on repeated words, proper nouns like water, each of their names. You might be able to say, like, if someone was like, okay, Berg, which one is Sully Huffa? Yeah. You might be able to answer that question.
I was just going to say, I think, let's say like maybe Berg's like looking at Ramus, like just kind of staring at him. And if Ramus does like a whole like Ramus, you can hear Berg like just
Rain? Right? No, there's no rain. We're in the desert.
Rain. He looks up at the sky,
As you start to make words, I kind of start. I don't think I understood the spell that was cast or why you like lost all this to begin with. But now that you're starting to make words, I kind of run up to you and like do the doctor thing where I open your eyes and look at you. Like, I point to myself. Do you know who I am, Berg? I guess he's getting better.
I immediately look at him and I go, Dada. Dada. Daddy.
Berg instinctually knows he's not his dad. He's just
I always took Calumet to be more of a Salvador Dali guy than a Dadaist, but that's fine. Whichever.
Ooh, not a lot of people are gonna get that one.
Put on your highest brows, everyone. So
Did Adam just make a Dadaist joke? Yeah. Jesus. Like 4 people in the audience are like, yeah.
Listen, you have to be really smart to appreciate Court of Swords at the level at which I expect my audience to appreciate it. So, all right.
It's all right. I got them covered on the other end. So,
so Berg, you are, you like everybody notices like Berg is starting to improve, starting to like be able to tell things apart from one another, that sort of thing.
Nice. What time of day is it? Is this morning or?
No, it's always. I mean, it's morning for your day. It's the beginning of your day.
Yeah, we've been doing it at night, right?
Sun's going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The sun's literally going down. I'm not making an Avengers reference.
Yeah. Literally, the sun is actually going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think then Berg starts to like speak in like kind of low margin and like water, and like looks at everybody like who has water, and also you're hearing me say water, right? You know, like toddlers get excited. You know,
we have to. I don't know if you understand this. We have to ration the water. So.
No, if my friend wants some water, I will give him water. Berg, look up. Look up, Berg.
Wait, no, don't flood the hat. And then the water just goes
Then down the
everywhere.
water above your head.
it's just a bunch of water.
Yeah, the water just pours on you.
Yeah.
It doesn't levitate this time. It's just
No, it doesn't. We just get drenched all of a
Someone
sudden.
dumps an entire bathtub of water on you.
Yeah, Berg like bites the water as it comes down.
Yeah. Like a dog with a hose.
Exactly like that. Just like he lets out one of those afterward.
So Berg, you still have one level of exhaustion, and are now drenched with water, which whatever is fine. But as soon as you guys set out into I guess the decision is, do you want to carry on, right? Or do you want to wait here until the weather changes? Because there is somewhat of a sandstorm, not enough that you can't like see 10 feet in front of your face, but it's starting to pick up and it's going to be pretty abrasive. You're going to need to like cover your face so you don't inhale a bunch of sand.
Can I see the stars?
But what do you want to do? Maybe make a perception check.
I would like to scan the environment to see if there's like any caves or anything nearby, any structure, or if it's just all sand.
Make a perception check.
Can I make that Arcana check while he's doing that as well?
Yes.
I will use guidance for that roll as well. So 13.
Both rolled 13s.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So no, I mean, it's not that you can't see it, Ramus. It's that there isn't anything. There's just like sand everywhere. Calumet, you're pretty sure you remember what direction to head in, but everything is a sort of featureless mess.
My eyes of the eagle do not help. Like,
no, they don't like pierce the sand that's kind of creating this haze. Yeah.
Do the stars appear to be the same? Can I use those to guide us at all?
Not really, because you kind of need to know. Like, you could say what direction you're traveling in, right? You could be like, you've been going west more or less the last couple of days, but
can we continue going west then?
You could try.
Could I, like, in my travels, is there a possibility that I would have heard of an immense desert?
Yeah.
Somewhere
totally.
that, like, people travel through or whatever?
There are many deserts in our world. Certainly a good handful of deserts that are at least 2 days walk across, because you haven't gone that far.
Right.
Make a survival check if you want to try to narrow down where you might be in the world based on what you know.
Please roll well.
Okay.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's at least, you can think of at least like 20 or 30 different deserts you could be in this size. The city, like the biggest, most sort of popular desert or whatever, is the desert in which the city of Brass sits. But there are other deserts, right? The north part of the Court of Coins is all desert. There are some other desert areas. There are a bunch of islands that are like desert islands. So you could be on one of those in the Court of Cups. Like you could literally just. I mean, it's hard to say. And plus, you're like honestly like a little turned around from yesterday too. So
Sure.
What do you want to do? Do you want to set out, or do you want to try to like stay here and figure out a way to get a better handle on where you're going or what you're doing?
So there's no way I can see like that place we were headed to before. It's just kind of
No, not today. No, because of the weather.
okay. Well, since food and water are not like super big issues, since we can conjure that.
Yeah.
I say like we stay or excuse me, I can do this in character. Well, looking at our current situation, it seems that traveling in any direction would be inadvisable, since we don't know where we're going, and if we wanted to go back the way we came, the winds would definitely erase our footsteps. So my suggestion, my feeling is that we stay here and wait out the storm, since Ramus so kindly can provide us with food and water. And of course, Sally Hoffa can provide us with shelter, and Berg can provide us with entertainment. That last one was a joke. It's okay to laugh.
Good, Berg. Very good.
Laugh is it? Just like we're laughing.
Adam, is the wind picking up in the 5 or 10 minutes that we've been, or however long we've been up? Like, does it seem like it's getting worse?
Make a nature check.
16.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's picking up in force slightly.
Okay. I turned to Kalimat. It is getting worse. I don't know how long these things last, but it's not the worst idea.
Well, I'd much rather wait. If it takes 3 or 4 days, I'd much rather wait and know where we are going, rather than walk aimlessly in a direction we hope is the right one. Unless you have a better plan, unless someone can change the weather or magically guide us with directions. And I know you're trying to use the stars, but
Hasn't worked
sometimes
out
the
just
stars
yet.
are unreliable.
Yes, exactly. Ramus, what do you think? Should we wait it out?
Either we die here, or we die wandering aimlessly. Doesn't matter to me.
Well, I'm not going to die.
I feel. Well, obviously, let's hope not, but it does seem pretty. Things aren't very good right now. We're trapped in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to go to. In the middle of a storm.
Die.
No.
Berg. No. Live.
Die.
Live.
Live.
Yes. Yes.
That one was 2 syllables.
Yes. Ramus, how big is that bag you got in Utrix's realm, out of curiosity?
Oh, it can hold endless items.
Not how
Just
big is
they
it
never come
inside,
back
but
out.
how big is it on the outside physically? I like ask you to hold it up if possible.
Yeah, I mean you take the bag out
Like a
and
burlap sack, or what am I looking at?
it's like hanging from your belt rotor, but when you touch it and take it out, it starts to like snarl and like snap its teeth at you. And it very much would be like a Muppet if this were like the live action version of the thing. So it's just like like biting and like snarling and drooling all over the place. So you kind of have to hold it away from your face as it snaps its jaws.
Behave. Just hold it down as hard as I can.
It's like growls at
God
you.
damn bag.
Have you?
Shaking a little bit upside down as a show who's boss.
Yeah, it starts coughing and choking, and then it kind of goes limp, like and it's like hanging from your hand.
Have you tried to feed it sand yet?
Whoops. Sorry.
Just out of curiosity.
I mean, no, but it would just disappear. We could try shoveling sand in here all day if you want. Could be something that's fun to do.
I'm
Maybe
just
he'll
curious.
choke to death, you little bastard.
Perhaps we could make it bigger than it is right now, and I don't know. See what's down. Tie a rope to it. See how far it goes. We got nothing better to do.
You want to make a giant, ravenous bag that eats everything whole.
Well, I don't. What else do you? We're in the desert. I just like put my hands up. Berg's getting smarter. He's no longer entertaining. I need something else.
These foolish mortals. Someday they'll make a bag so big it'll consume them all. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I wonder. Now, I've had a thought. Do you think that bag is endless? I mean, do you think that you can put anything in there and it would never return? Or do you think that we could drown it from within with water?
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I have encountered this type of bag before?
I mean, you definitely haven't, but you could try to guess at the fundamental arcane principles that underlie it.
25?
Okay. This is one of two things. So the bag is either a like semi-intelligent, or maybe the wizard that created it made it just seem that way, but either like an orifice of some larger creature, or a creature in and of itself. It may be alive, so it might be an organism that is capable of just like destroying anything it eats, or it could be a portal to some other place. So it could be one or both of those things. Magic is complicated. You can also ask me questions, because 25 is pretty good.
Does it seem to want... Is it eating because it's hungry, or is it eating because it hates everything? Like, does it have an aggressive way of eating, or just because it's purely hungry?
It seems to desire consuming things at all times, but it does go into a dormant state, right? Like until Ramus took it out, it was just like laying there asleep. It seems to react to things being put near its feeding opening.
Trying to see if there's anything else I would want to ask. Do I know what would happen if you overfeed this? Can this thing be overfed?
That depends. If it's a multidimensional organism with feeding holes spread throughout the universe, it may have a stomach that could be filled, but it's hard to know how much it would take to fill such a thing. If it's a portal, I mean, only you never know.
Whatever's
right?
on the other side of the portal, how big it is. Yeah.
It could easily, like you've heard, and Kalima, maybe this occurs to you while you're all standing like this. You've heard stories of magic bags like this that are cursed, that were created by a greedy wizard. And so he made a bunch of them and sent them out into the world so that every time someone put something in it, it would pop out into his treasury. And so he has all of these like beloved items because stupid people keep putting all their gold in it. And so he's super rich because of these like 20 bags of hunger or whatever. So maybe that's like a story you remember, but that doesn't necessarily mean this is that.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, it's a problem for another time. That's not an extremely pressing issue, except for Ramus. Did you lose anything that was of more importance than value?
Just trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Okay, Skyrim Croak.
I got you.
It's good. It's nice. Nerds.
Adam, the last thing I want to ask with that 25, does it devour whatever it's devouring immediately? Is it immediately gone? Or does it have to chew? Like, is there a
you could perform an experiment to find out, but
I can't know that just from looking at it, obviously.
Hard to say, yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, whatever you guys
consume
are
a few. I did consume some magical stuff, potions mostly.
Did it seem
And gold.
satiated when it ate all that?
It just sort of disappeared, and it wanted more.
Well,
Bastard tried to eat me, and I hit it one time.
Yeah.
as you should.
I feel like this bag is Ramus's new best friend. Like you hate each other, but like there's a bond forming. I can feel it.
Yeah, we have like a thing. You know, it's complicated.
I think it would be pretty fun to just like, if we just have a town that hates us, just to be like, all right, bag, have fun. Just like let them go. Let them go loose in the town.
I definitely, between last session and now, decided the mechanisms if you ever try to bag somebody with it.
Good, great,
you know
because that's going to happen.
Gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm sitting there discussing this, and like, sand hits me in the eye immediately.
Yeah.
Well, we need to make a decision. This isn't getting any better. Are we staying here for the day, or are we going to march? I look at Callie and Ramus.
I vote stay.
Well,
One for stay, Ramus.
well, I mean, there's nothing here that we're staying on, except here, where we don't know where here is.
Are you saying we should look for shelter of some type?
We could just casually walk around and see if we see anything. Unlikely that is. Not march, but it's casually move. Otherwise, we're gonna be
You're
very
for-
bored.
You're for like wandering in what we might think is the correct direction then.
Yes, but not at a brisk pace. Just a lighter pace today.
Well, we know that is west, and I reference the fish in the sky being swallowed by the shark or something like that.
Which is starting to become difficult to see.
Right. Right.
You look up and you have to squint to see the difference between sky and stars now. So the sand is starting to swirl around over top of you.
I have an idea. I smile.
All right, here we go. What is it?
We know that direction is west, but we don't know it for very long. But if we have a line behind us, we'll know that we're walking in a straight line. I propose we take a rope, tie it to the bag, and drag the bag behind us to suck up the sand and create a long, long line. Long enough to where we can turn 20 feet behind us and see that the line is still straight.
Well, you're forgetting one minor detail. Remember the dome and the sand, how it was covering it with all the wind? I don't think the line would last very long.
It would last, and I scratch my chin, 20 feet or so. Long enough to say that we're still going in a straight line.
And I worry about this bag. We could break it, for all we know. We've never actually tested it other than with my stuff.
It did eat a lot of your stuff. All of it, actually.
Do you want to try to feed it sand and see what happens?
I smile. And just like grab a bunch of sand and open it up.
This is so going to sound like Dimension where it's like a town.
Yeah.
So
Like, go ahead.
please explain to me your plan. So you're gonna hold the bag open and pour sand into it, or
Yeah, we're just going to see what happens when it eats sand. If it spits it back out, or what happens.
Okay, all right. So who is holding the bag? We need to very carefully handle this thing.
Well,
Who is
it's
holding the
Ramus's bag, so he's holding it.
Sure.
And then
Okay,
I'm
so
pouring
is that-
sand in from 4 or 5 feet above the mouth of the bag.
All right. So Ramus, you hold the bag with its mouth open. Sully gathers up some sand and comes to approach. Ramus, can you make a strength check, please?
Mm-mm.
Good luck.
13.
Okay, the bag leaps from your hands and flies at Sully Hoffa. Sully, can you make a dexterity save?
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn it. Dex save.
Oh.
That's a
Okay,
one.
so here's what happens. It's it's like you go to pour it in, and then Ramus it like starts struggling, and then yanks out of your hand and just goes whoop over Sully's head. And now Sully has the bag over his head. Sully, you see.
Yeah, what do I
suddenly,
see when I open my eyes?
So you see an empty space, and then your eyes start to adjust, and you can see random objects floating around in this empty space. You see like a cluster of coins drift by. You see like a severed arm kind of like spinning through the void. A small cat, and then it starts going like the mouth opening over your shoulders and starts like going down over his body. What's everybody else doing? Kalimat and Berg. Berg, something very exciting is happening, and you do not understand it at all.
Yeah, like Berg's just like, like wide-eyed looking at him like,
Kalimat, help me pull this off of him. Berg,
No,
if you can understand me.
I just love that the strongest dude is like the one we need right now to pull this bag off is just like
Bag. Berg loves
help.
bag.
And I grab the like the trying to pull it off of his fucking turtle head, and I say, Sully, turtle up, Sully.
I'm like,
So you can't hear anything but the gentle like quiet of the void. You see this like,
oh yeah, no, I'm just lost. Like, I'm trying to understand what the fuck this is completely.
see a Tesla Roadster fly by in the distance.
Great.
A strange chariot distantly flies by. So okay, you Kalimat, you can make it's going to be a strength check to pull the bag off. So you're going to need some help because you're not the strongest tool in the box. So
Right.
someone needs to help you. Who is that going to be?
Well, Ramus is over there helping, and we're
if I
trying
can
to get
understand,
Berg.
if I can like roll to understand, or if it's just
Okay,
not even an option.
Berg, make an intelligence check. We'll say DC 10. If someone is yelling Berg, and like trying to get put your hands.
'cause I feel
on
like
the
they're
bag.
probably insisting that I help in some form, you know. So
Boop. Okay. Let's see. Come
I
on.
don't see
Intelligence of 3.
He's got an intelligence of 3, which is like a minus.
no.
Yeah, no. Okay, so Berg, you're just staring at them.
I like how you crit and it's a 16. We will never see a crit be a 16 for the rest of this, probably for this entirety of the.
Yeah.
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 Should have given him inspiration.
Nah. Anyways,
okay, so Berg just stares, drooling, as Sully's head is getting eaten by the bag.
All right,
Um,
so it's me and
so-
me and Ramus.
What's
Yeah,
your strength
Ramus.
score?
Yeah, Ramus and Kalimat, whoever has the highest score should roll, and the other person's gonna
Kali
roll.
has a 7, so
Yeah,
It's
take your
you,
take
Ramus.
I
your
have a
10.
10.
Yeah, take your 10.
Okay.
With advantage, right?
All right. Strength check.
What's the DC here?
Athletics, in this case.
Oh,
for you,
athletics?
Ramus. Yeah.
Okay, athletics with advantage since he's helping me. Oh wait, twice. 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's working. You're like pulling on the bag and it just keeps like like chewing on something, and it's like down to his waist now. So it's just like his turtle legs sticking out of the bottom of the bag. I figure you probably got one last shot at this. You do have enough time to bless yourself.
Okay.
So do you want to use you want to
mean
use guidance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This
We'll
is-
try one more time with
This is kind of a
guidance.
problem.
Yeah.
And I'm completely off the hook.
19.
There you go. Okay.
pretty good.
So you yank hard on the thing one last time, and it some of its teeth break off in his shell, and you manage to like yank the thing off of him, and it kind of like deflates and goes back to its normal size, and like flops down in the sand, wheezing. And we see Sully, and Sully, you have like a thin
Mucus?
coating of like frost on you.
Oh.
And you've suddenly like the void is pulled away from you, and you just blam, blinding light and the desert, and then you realize, yeah, you're back here where your friends are.
Completely disregarding my own death for a second.
Yes.
Did it feel like that was an endless amount of space that I was in?
You certainly couldn't see any like it was blackness, and so it was like the measure of distance was impossible for you to determine.
Yeah.
It was either things might have been
There's no
close
depth
or very
perception
large.
available,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was no depth at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly a mysterious and magical place, but yeah.
All right. You guys pull the thing off. I'm sitting there. My eyes are blinking. And oh, thank you. I believe I almost just died.
You almost died, you dumbass. Let's not
Berg randomly
mess
just goes.
with the bag anymore. Jim is going in my bag and he's going to stay there.
Yeah, so the bag seems exhausted by the effort, and you pick it up and like tie it back up and put it on your belt, and it's just kind of like like wheezing, and then goes back to sleep.
Well, that's good to know. We can put people we don't like in there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More-
Berg was just excited by the whole thing. It wasn't even like, the clapping that I did was not what he did. It was like,
You're like a little
like really excited.
Everyone was shouting. It was fun.
Yeah, and then it all stopped, and he came out, and he was like, it was exciting.
Literally, Sully Huffa just played peekaboo with you, right? Where's Sully, Berg? Where's Sully? Ah, here he is.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, you did magic in the world where magic exists.
Yeah. Good. Free intelligence really
What
gives
did you
life.
see?
a
Did you
belief
see
you wouldn't get
anything in there?
otherwise.
Yes, I saw absolutely nothing at the same time of seeing everything. Coins were passing, and it seemed endless. I don't believe that's of this realm.
So it's a portal to some dimension where everything just gets dumped?
Well,
What you're saying?
either a portal or that's a creature's stomach in a weird way. I don't know. It's interesting. I start like picking the film off of me. This is quite disgusting,
Yeah.
though.
Cool. All right. Do we want to take a break there? Is
Yeah.
that a good time?
Yeah, let's take a break
Okay.
here. Then we'll
right.
figure out what the fuck we're gonna do for the next couple of days. That's 2 hours down, 2 to go here in episode 61 of Court of Swords. We'll be right back after this quick break with part 2. We'll see you guys then.